What's up, everyone? I am so sorry that I've not been making anything for y'all in long form content or anything else. I've been busy, I have trips, and speaking of trips, I went to Disneyland again. Let's go. So, I did a lot of interesting things at Disneyland, like got a lot more footage. I went like for only 2 days. Most importantly, there were two things that I got to do. Number one, I got to go build a lightsaber. Number two, I got to go to Disneyland California Adventure. So I'm going to talk about those two things today. First off, we'll go with the lightsaber that I built at Disneyland. So it cost $237 and some odd cents, but I thought it was going to be $250, like walking out the door, but it wasn't, which I was really happy about. Still, at the same time, that is a lot of money. So be prepared to spend that. It's really interesting. They have like this whole like little garden area that you sit in and wait. And then they take your group and then you go inside, and then there's the person that teaches you how to build your lightsaber. There's Star Wars music of Galaxy's Edge and classic Star Wars music that also plays, which I really liked. That really added to the ambiance and atmosphere that was in this workshop, which I really liked. The cast members were super helpful. And if you had any problems or whatnot, you can just ask them and they can like help you rebuild it. There's literally this part in the video where my lightsaber piece was like not very well threaded. It not only took like an entire different piece, the main base hilt or the main base thing that it's based off of had to be replaced, which is honestly quite insane, but that's okay. Like it worked out and I got to build my lightsaber. I went with blue and then I got different kyber crystals. I went with yellow and then I went with red. Very cool, very nice. So yeah, really liked that. The other really cool thing that happened was that Yoda made a visit. Sorry, spoilers, which is honestly really cool. And the Yoda theme being played was like just, it really added a lot for that experience. Oh, and what's really nice is that they also give you a pin. This is my pin, and it's different for whatever class of lightsaber that you build. And what's also really interesting is that they also give you a sleeve so that you can carry it around. I already came with one that was a little bit more higher end. Like there's a $50 one that you can buy at Savvy's Workshop. I would recommend that because it would just be a lot more durable and a little bit more premium. That's what I would say. If you want to bring this back home, you have to go sit with it as a carry-on, and you have to sit with it for like inside of your seat. So don't be planning to take like a pee or whatever. So yeah. What did I think? I think it was really cool and an amazing experience, and I really loved it. I look back on it and I think it's really great. Yes, my lightsaber is a little thick and it's also quite a bit heavy. So I would say this: if you are someone that likes screen accurate props or more to be in line of what Star Wars already has, then please buy like anyone else's lightsaber. Don't buy Disney's. Yes, Disney's is super cool, but at the same time, if you want that accuracy in sound and in light, you should go with a custom one. It will all, like, first off, the custom ones are cheaper and they're better. That's just the truth. Then let's get to that second thing I mentioned at the beginning of this video. I visited Disneyland California Adventure. So I went back there the first time in a long time, which was really great. Super fun, really enjoyed it. But something I got to experience was Avengers Campus. And I also rode Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. That ride was terrifying. I just really need to put that out there. Really, really scary. My heart rate went up to like 150 before getting on the ride, but I would totally do it again. So long as I'm on the front, on the right side at the very end, since I have something to hold on to. And if I don't have something to hold on to, I am not going to enjoy the experience. Otherwise, still a great ride. And the theming is really good too, which brings me to a really interesting point. So I went with Tactic Crazy Games. He just tagged along. So we went to, we were waiting in line for Spiderman, and like we got to like walk around before like going on any other ride or whatever. I just have a really shady thing to say. Why does Avengers Campus look cheap?
That's crazy. Like, I would never say that.
Disney Imagineering usually sets the bar for what a theme park could be in sense of imaginative and like for being like, it makes you believe that you're in this fictional place much more than sometimes other theme parks. But why did Avengers Campus not feel that way? I get it. It's set in the modern day, but why? That's like a huge, not great decision, because that it's set in the modern day in its architecture, it's going to look really bad later on because then the world has moved on and architecture and other things have changed. So that's not really great. We want to have something different, which is why I praise the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. This ride may not look all that different because it definitely reminds me of Tower of Terror, but don't get me wrong, it still has a very distinct look and design that makes it feel like Guardians. I'm just gonna say that. So why does the rest of Avengers Campus look like it forgot that theming? I'm gonna specifically say Spider-Man.
Dog.
Spider-Man is good. I went on the Universal Orlando Spider-Man ride. That one is amazing. But why does the Disneyland California Adventure one borrow technology from
Legoland's Ninjago Land, dog?
We're in the year of 2024. We could have had way more interesting ideas here. Also, this ride was very chaotic and the set pieces were not all that impressive and very brief. And the queue was just not that interesting at all. I found the music to be okay because Michael Giacchino slaps in Spider-Man music. But why was this like just such a C-tier ride at Disneyland? This is Avengers Campus. This is Spider-Man. This could have been so much more. But instead, you're just like, nah, we're just going to settle on basic. What? And here's the other thing I really want to talk about. I feel like Disney is starting to cheap out on their audience. We got to bring up like the Galactic Star Cruiser in the sense that even though you pay $7,000 for that whole experience, it just doesn't feel like that you're getting that. Maybe to some Star Wars fans, they would come out here and be like, nah, I actually got the entire $7,000 worth of experience. Why didn't I get to build a lightsaber there, like for free on the ship, you know? Just one thought for that $7,000 price tag. But here's another thing I really want to mention is that basically Jenny Nicholson called out Disney for the Galactic Star Cruiser that took a lot of the most interesting and unique ideas that was in Galaxy's Edge and put them behind a huge paywall. Dog, why are we doing this? Like, we pay $138 per day to go to Disneyland and we expect really good things, but now you're just gonna have to put up more paywalls in order for us to experience more things. I wanna just bring up something really quick, and that is Super Nintendo World. Yes, I'm gonna talk about them because they're actually doing it right. So you just need a band that's only $40. The band allows you to interact with the rest of the land and like get points or whatever, but specifically it helps you get those keys to unlock the Bowser Jr. Castle experience. And then you can bring 2 other people with you, which is perfect. But as a year later, after Universal Studios had Super Nintendo World open, they just opened a nice little place for you to experience for free. As long as you have that band, boom, you get to experience it. And I'm pretty sure you don't have to without the band. Like, there's a lot of things in Super Nintendo World that you don't have to experience with the band. Dog, Universal is doing it right. It's just crazy. Like, I can pay that $40 and I can feel like that $40 was well spent. Also, it doubles as an amiibo when you go home and you put it on your Switch.
Why are we doing this?
Like, seriously, Disney is really lacking in that department. What's going on? I feel like that Universal is starting to become more the better Disney option than everyone else, which is crazy. I would actually prefer to go spend a day at Super Nintendo World over at Disneyland because of how inexpensive it is, and then I already have a lot of stuff there. So at Universal, you taking those W's. Also, I just really need to mention this. Epic Universe is happening next year because for the last 5 years that theme parks have been trying to recover from the pandemic, you know what Universal's been cooking up? They not only have like an entire theme park that opened in China, but then they had an expansion of that theme park open in Japan. And then they had another expansion of that theme park, which is, by the way, Super Nintendo World, in case if you haven't figured out, not only opened in Japan, but then they put it over in California. And now in Orlando, Florida, they're going to open up a theme park that houses Super Nintendo World, Harry Potter, Universal Studios Monsters, and How to Train Your Dragon with an original ride and a carousel in the middle. Dog, what are we doing? Universal is absolutely whooping Disney's behind. Why? I don't want to say that, but they really are. And you know what's even crazier? Is that what Disney's been working on in these last couple of years is Tiana's Bayou and the Tron ride, at least here stateside. Yes, they have opened like larger expanses elsewhere, but they don't own them. And I'm pretty sure Universal doesn't own those as well. Maybe, I don't know, but I need to research into that. I'm just saying, that's not cool. Oh, I also need to mention this. Disney was like, we got bus wraps. Oh my gosh, bus wraps. The competition is so fierce. It's crazy. So that's kind of my thoughts. I kind of felt like that with Disneyland on my recent trip. I'm starting to debate if I should really go back there next year. For 3 consecutive years, I have went to Disneyland. And I just don't know if I want to do it again because it's expensive. And I mean, it is fun, but it's just really expensive. And I don't want to have to send a bunch of paywalls in order to experience this stuff. Just saying. Okay. Well, that's sort of all my thoughts, honestly, for the last Disneyland trip. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of new videos coming out. I have a very funny review coming out for the Acolyte. For those of you who get it, you'll get it. And the Star Wars Dilemma Part 3 is in the writing works. I just need to like finish it up real quick and then we can get to recording. There's a lot of stuff planned for that video because I want to go all out. But I'm going to try to get also a bunch of new shorts up as well. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. So you just, did what, excuse me? Hold up. 13 minutes?